Check. Hello. Now the mic is working. Welcome to round two of the Random Mayhem. So we will be spinning the wheel of two times for this one again. So hope you are ready. There, the wheels, and then do this, right? This. So, what will it be? Number two, last week we had the Red Bull X 2014. Now it will be Rolo, it's Group 2. Two. That's the track. Last week, they spin a big wheel, can't barely read. Broad beat in reverse. Oh my gosh. Oh, wait. Stuff. Long. It's last. Two. Today. Starting. Okay. Time progression, not that important. It can't rain, at least at broad beat way. Consumption. As well, a low consumption. Not sure how much you will actually use here at this very shallow kind of racetrack. Tire wear. High tire wear could be brutal combination with a mandatory tire. The wheel is being kind again. Times like very straightforward for that one. Mandatory tire compound. Other than none, other than none, other than none, it will be none. Come on. No one is forced to do. Oh, that or it's not selected. So one, you likes the number one. Probably you won't even have to fuel unless, of course, we start with a very low amount fuel. Could be okay. 40. Okay, that could make things. It shall be damage. Last we had heavy damage. No damage with the close walls. game. I without the false start check. Okay, that leaves us with one. Oh, that's all. I think let's go through group two. Not be in reverse. Minutes, late morning. No, time progression. Tired. One compound. Second body. Let's start. And I guess now uh, create the room. To Discord. The worst part is 60 minutes. Yeah, I'd also say that's probably one. So quickly, if you the ID, then you can join. Helps the chat. It's the bot. Let's go. So there are the settings, like in a compact form. So once again, we are racing at the Broad Bean track in reverse in Group 2 machinery. So open choice within that category will be 60 minutes, a full hour of racing. No time progression, late morning will be time of day. We have ×1 for tires and fuel multiplier, so very low, also just like 1 liter per second refuel rate. No mandatory tires. We start at 40 liters per percent. There's no damage and will be a grid start. And to that, okay, so go into the practice session now. Let's see what drivers will be using. So I see an NSX. Here, that's a Nissan. Currently on track. Other people are currently chilling in pit lane. Let's see what it is. So the front left tire will be the crucial one. Here, so but there is no mandatory tire at all, so yeah. Oh, Shelty going for extraordinary and at GT1. We have Richie in an Honda, the 2016 model. Beetle also in that NSX. Let's jump on board, get an impression. That track. Okay, this is the start of the lap now. We go into the banked right-hander, flatting through easily. That little chicane probably as well. So you fly through that middle sector, up on the banking, and then you brake before the final turn. What is it, at the 50? Close to the wall again, so high speed running here at this very short track. We see lap times 23 seconds-ish. So get the idea, impression behind. This is then the part of the Random Mayhem, especially with an open car class. So try and figure out what's the best car for the combination. That GTR may be a little bit better on tires compared to the NSX. See predominantly the Super GT cars. You're on track. They have like really high downforce, so this should help with the overall speed. maybe an older Super GT 2008 model might be an option. They're usually a bit better on the tires. And then we would have the Audi RS as well, the DTM car from 2019, and then a bit of older Le Mans cars, the Mercedes CLK, the Toyota GT1. We also have that BMW/McLaren F1 GTR is in that class. So it's a variety, definitely, but most of the drivers are looking at the more modern cars, specialty testing that Audi R8. So that's the DRS button duct taped, probably. That's the annoying thing with that car, so you have to press it like very hard. I see some familiar liveries here. Pretty sure Beetlejuice used that livery in one of the TVC seasons. Yeah, it has a TVC number board on it. Oscar also testing some cars. This coming in for drivers Evoque, also in a gets the Nissan. Should see very close lap times on this short track here, definitely. NSX on top at the moment. Lazy testing the Racing Hard tires. Now see Lemony. Also probably a TC livery. That Nissan showcasing running the number 1 on that car is at that time the remaining champion. The Lexus also now out on track. So I think one of the interesting aspects of today's race, I'll just bring up these settings again, will be probably the initial fuel 40 liters, so you will have to pit at some point. And even though we have quite low tire wear, I think with the nature of this track, the front left will die eventually, so we should see a couple of pit stops, and also with the pit stops, like probably if you do one, you're a lap down. So that's also a very interesting dynamic to this race. So I might have to turn off the flag rules. Probably I'll just Ask the question in chat. Where is the question mark? I have no clue. This here. Oh. Got 2 yes already. That's good enough for me, I think. So we will just save them, just in case something goes horribly wrong. And then let's disable to off this one, so no yellows, no blues. So danger. Okay. The car picks once again. Dylan also testing the GT1. A couple of drivers did that, but didn't really stick to that choice now. Predominantly, yeah, 2016 Super GT cars. Also the Audi TM 2019 version of that RS5. Give the drivers a little bit of warm-up time, so top of the hour we will start the 10-minute qualifying session. Is will Dylan stick to that GT1? Not sure, it might have an advantage on fuel tires. No, he ticked out and is using the Lexus for now. Give it a shot. So no older cars for now, at least. the NSXs. 5, 4. Yes, with 3 hobbies. Yeah. Kinda glad that it's not a one make, that open class. You never know, it's still a couple of minutes time, of course, to test things. Realized Shelty abandoned the Audi. Probably the thump hurting. So just to see if it stays like that. I think the last time we used this track was in a Fun Road to Christmas special, where we had like some kind of destruction derby thing going. I think 2 seasons ago we also had a round here, but the other way, with a normal layout. If I can remember correctly, I think it was a very old Shelby Cobra, I think was the theme for that race. But yeah, usually you don't see that track very often in races. Yeah. A change of scenery, that's for sure. It would be nice if this location had rain on top, with more chaos. But yeah, with the initial shock, like going through 2 at that track with the tires and fuel, the multipliers being as slow as possible, should be okay, but also probably eliminates some of the fancy strategies then. Pretty sure with that the pit loss is roughly 20 seconds and the lap time 23, 24. And of course we have 1 liter per second refuel rate, so let's quickly bring this up once again. And 4 liters initial fuel, so it might be a bit of strategy involved, maybe to pit a bit like out of sequence. It is with a very low refill rate, so I could actually see that happening, but not everyone like hitting at the same time. Ooh, Taz adventurous now. McLaren F1 GTR. Oh. Just think that car lacks the acceleration. Probably also a little bit of the downforce compared to the other car. So let's jump back into spectate mode. Have a look at lap times. So 23.1 was the fastest before I reset the lobby. 23.2 now currently the lap time. So maybe wind has changed a little bit. Most of the drivers are currently using that medium tire compound, so it could be like the race tire. Doesn't look too bad after 4 or 5 laps from what I can see currently, so Beetle is on that tire. It's 23, 24 laps, and that should definitely be the starting tire before you run out of fuel. And still, if you push too hard, you might lose the rear end with those high downforce cars, so it's... You can still, yeah, find yourself facing the wrong way at this track. We see another TEC livery, so drivers are recycling liveries, cars from previous leagues and events. That's nice to see, but it looks like predominantly the NSX now showing. So let's inform that we will be starting soon with the qualifier. Settings. 10 minutes, same tire wear and consumption as the race, and also initial fuel is on that same amount of fuel, and we have disabled the slipstream strength for that qualifying session. For a race later, slipstream strength will be set to real. Those are the lovely settings for this round. After hearing about the settings, yeah, had to go for a smoke. Now is joining the lobby then to do probably 2-3 laps of practice, and that should be all she wrote. The outlier, so Evoque sticks to that Audi. Everyone else in a 2016 Group 2 car. Or during to pick his car, and then we can start a quali. That's predominantly used, so the safe bet, and then let's start qualifying. 10 minutes. Ticked in 13 tracks today. Nice. Let's go. I guess it will be softs for the qualifying. Left the pits already. So it also is a long pit exit. And it's a short out lap. You go on board with Blasi for the first flying lap. Where to brake for that final turn. 55th gear, keeping the momentum, and 23.0. Was a statement early on for the session. Richie gapped him by 1/1000th of a second. 23.058. P3 currently Lemony with a 0.199, clearing out the get-go with a 0.2. Doesn't need practice. We see times now starting to crumble. River with a purple middle sector. It's probably GTR versus NSX. River using 4th gear. Saw many drivers staying in 5th for that one and only braking zone. In fact, the top 3 is still Richie, Blasi, and Lemony. The Eco, P8, Luxy, P9, Speedo, P10, that 0.4. Close together, Evoque in the Audi, Shelty and Chess. Now, it's racing already during qualifying. That didn't go to plan at all. 24/7 for now. That was Wrecking Ball Richie again. And yeah, we see people are pitting after 4 or 5 laps. And to get a run on fresh, soft tires. The top 3 is still after that first flying lap. Now we see some pit stops happening. 3 minutes in. Still enough time left to improve on those lap times. Oscar Dylan Deering at that point to Eco as well. Same lap time as River, by the way. P7, P8. So couldn't get any closer than that. 0.4 for Sluxy and Beetle. Test up to a 0.5. Ewok with some fresh tires. Sluxy with a 23.0 or 4.0. Thought he went on top. Oh, Shelty currently with a 23.6.9 P13. That gets that final turn is so important. I think if you can keep it in 5th gear, this could be helpful. So we see a new driver in P3, that's Dylan, 23.183. Oscar with a 1.02. So now we're seeing the improvements. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 drivers with a 23.1 and 2 drivers with a 23.0 currently. Second round of flying laps after the pit stop to change tires. Lemony currently P6, a little bit down on his personal. Last really get a good run, yeah, but a better one, so a 23.129. It would be the optimal currently. So we still have Richie and Blasi, the only 2 drivers with that 23.0. Oscar, who won last week, Eco with a 23.008. We're getting closer to that 22 barrier and improving. This could be the run, maybe. Touch the wall, don't think we'll get it. Oh, we did! 22.9 is the first driver with a sub 23. 3.5 minutes to go in this session. So Eco and Richie P1, P2, Blasi and Lemony P3 and P4. Lemony improved to that 0.99. Then Oscar and Dylan would be the third row. River and Deering, row number 4. Sluxy and Shelty, P9, P10. Things are evolving, changing. Taz move up to P10, Shelty, P11. Beetle in P12 on the hard tires, interesting. So he's not going for softs during qualifying. Ewok with a 23.6. Move to a 0.5. So just a little bit over 2 minutes to go. Can someone grab that valid pole position? 8 points from Eco. It's a 22.949 to beat. Still the only driver to go sub 23. Richie purple. Blasi improved 23.023. It's P2 for the moment. Oscar also. Richie down to P4 suddenly. Touching the wall. Also a 0. It's crazy. I think that little tap might have cost them. So it's P5 for Lemony River with a 0.1, P6 Dylan. Just behind Oscar, improved to a 0.27. That is P3 again. So as always, the top three will get some bonus points, 8, 5 and 3 for qualifying. And currently it looks like Eco, Blasi and Oscar, a minute to go. It's now or never. Lemony improved also to a 22.96 nearly. Got past Eco onto that pole. He's still there. Doesn't need much. 30 seconds to go, so 2 more laps. Blasi on the outlap with fresh tires. Oscar with the run. Shelty improved to a 0.3. What are the gaps between the drivers? 0.2 for Deering, 0.3 for Slaxton, 0.3 for Shelty, 0.4 for Tessay, 0.4 for Beetle, who is on softs again, now going for it, improved. 0.382. Slugsy 303.9. Baby steps, small steps, I think, for the driver. So we are, I think, now on that final lap for the qualifying. Eco hits the wall, won't be improving, I think, on that one. So Lemony finished. Going to improve Beetlejuice with a 0.2, moves him a little bit further up the roads, and that's it. That's it. So let's come out of this results. Take screenshots, just in case. Let's give him a short break before we start. 60 minutes of madness today at Random Mayhem. This and all. Crap. That one. Two minutes, and then we'll start this one. So again, let's bring up the settings for today. So we have a grid start, 60 minutes of racing in crew machinery, but in the burst ×1, the tire wear ×1, the fuel consumption. Mid-morning with no time regression, so we stay at this very much time of day. So some clouds, whatever, major, no mandatory tire compounds, no damage, a low refuel rate of 1 liter per second. The initial fuel, that's, I think, interesting part for this race. How long can you go with 40 liters? You have to pit. And we saw the soft tires, and it didn't last that long. We'll see the strategy. So I reckon most of the drivers will start this race on EM tire compound. Maybe even hards. Try to just do a one stop. Medium, hard, soft. medium soft. We'll see. We'll see. So, then let's wish them all good luck, fun, a good race, whatever. And then it's time to let Mayhem unfold itself for this one. Double check everyone is in. Pray for me, pray for everyone. Right. Oh, grid start, so no false start check. That's... Can't mess up the race start then. Interesting to see. Everyone should be starting on that short start-finish straight. And then we hear the engines now. And we hear the noises. And it's green, green, green. Oh, a little bit of banking. So cars going sideways. So what was it? I think Sluxy's car went the complete wrong direction. So not sure what happened to that one. But it's bunching up for the first time for the braking zone. And Lemony on the hard tires, leading. Blasi P2, Oscar P3, Dylan P4, so mediums and hards for the drivers mainly. And we have two drivers at the back for now. That's Taz and Sluxy, already 10-11 seconds behind Beetlejuice on the hards in P11. Let's go through the grid. We have Ewok on the mediums. River is on the hard tire compound. Deering on mediums. Shelty is on mediums. We have Richie on hards. Eco on the mediums. Different lines side by side through the middle chicane. Dylan is on mediums. Oscar on hards. Blasi on hards. And Lemony on hards. So, interestingly, we have the hard tire runners 1, 2, 3 currently. And the first of the mediums is Dylan in P4, closely followed by the pole setter, Eco. Shelty with a little gap, but nothing to worry. Then Richie in P7 on the hard tires, under pressure. Deering close behind River in P9 as well. 3 seconds the gap to the leaders currently. I don't know, maybe saving some fuel in the slipstream. Could still be a very tactical race. Ewok in P10. Beetlejuice has lost contact and maybe is on a fuel saving mission for this one. Sluxy and Taz. Where are they? Taz had a second option, and he crashes into the wall. Again, I think something happened maybe to his equipment again, so he was telling that his wheelbase pedals strange things, and maybe something happened again. So Lemony nearly a second, probably not saving fuel. Blasi P2, Oscar P3, so now race has settled a little bit. Dylan P4, we see the difference already in the tire wear on that front left tire. Got himself a little gap to Eco and Shelty. And we have the next group with Richie still being in that slipstream range with 8 tenths. Then in P7, Deering close behind on the mediums, Richie on the hards. River and Ewok. Let's go to my favorite camera. Oh, this could be a run for Deering. Working together for now with Richie trying to get back to the front runners. Maybe the gap to Shelty. 6/10, and looks like it's getting closer. Good run this time. Deering with the run and gets past Richie. Deering is on those mediums, Richie on the hard tires. Maybe a little bit of an advantage coming out of the final turn with more speed. So further down, Ewok touched the wall, losing a little bit of ground to River. River, yeah, with Richie, so that's all good. Beetlejuice, yeah, that's 3.5 seconds. Going for pretty sure fuel saving strategy. Sluxy after that spin off the line, 5 seconds behind Beetle, so he's pushing. Maybe he can work together with the finished driver. There is Lemony with a big lead suddenly, 1.8. And also the front left looking way better than Blasi's. Oscar roughly the same as Lemony on that front left tire, the top 3 as mentioned on the hard compound. So side by side, Dylan and Nico, 2 medium tire runners. On a tire where I don't think they'll make it until the pit stop with this compound. It's 40% at this stage after 5-6 minutes, so we will probably see a couple of pit stops during this race. And it's still, I think, an interesting one with the strategy. So mediums versus hards, and maybe a push on softs, a very short one, to get a chance at a fastest lap, some extra points as well. Richie and River. So River caught up, both on the hard tires, basically the same. Ewok lost a little bit of contact, all by himself. And yeah, Beetle is definitely saving fuel and tires compared to everyone else. That's 13 seconds at this stage. Could this be the master plan? Drive slow to win in the end. Stops in 2 seconds, so he will get a little bit of slipstream, and very soon, looking at the different strategies, don't think they will be running together for that long. So not many overtakes for now. Here we go, 2 wide, 3 wide now through the middle sector. Deering caught up and Eco looking left, right. Now on the inside of Dylan. Yes, the line for now. And we saw the first driver pitting, Shelty. P10, formerly known as the Tyre Whisperer, the first driver to pit. We also see the other drivers on those mediums struggling now with the tire wear. The 2 Irish again going, and Dylan also opting to pit. Next driver in, Ewok staying out. Oh, yep, one more on bad tires. So Shelty then, yeah, that's a lap down when you pit Dylan onto the hard tire compound. And Sluxy right behind Beetle, pushing him a little bit, doing actually a good job on the front left. Sluxy now going for the move. I think he's the best on the mediums so far, down 2 tires, so can run a little bit longer. So 9 minutes in and a little bit. We have 2 seconds for Lemony in the lead. Really looking after the front left tire. Fuel also. Bit of an advantage. Oscar also very good with the front left tire. Deering going for one more, but this will probably be in lap. And that front left isn't looking healthy anymore, and yeah, he's diving into pit lane. Ewok is in. Shelty. It's the gap to Beetle, that's 10 seconds. Sluxy up to P6. The last medium tire runner standing since the start of the race. So what's the decision with the fuel? Ewok, no fuel in. So he undercut Deering, I think. Deering put in some fuel. Eco as well. So the 1 liter per second refuel speed is cruel. It's also like a strategy option then to keep in mind. But it looks like we have now lapped cars for the moment sitting in between the rest of the pack. So interesting racing, and Sluxy is still going. It's now the time for Beetle, I think. He's not losing time anymore, not that much. Got past Shelty for the moment. Shelty is on a new set of mediums, and Dylan right behind. Let's do a little bit on board. See if we can keep up with the action on the track. Oh, that line wasn't the best. So Dylan is on the racing hard tires now. But didn't refuel, so not sure if this was the best idea. Sluxy finally in. Dogs, who thinks the only fans, NSX for Shelty in P7, P3, and that's, yeah, I don't think that's Oscar, yeah, Oscar, P3, currently is still on that first set of hard tires, 2 seconds to get to Blasi, 4 to Lemony. Let's see the gaps. So, and the tire wear. Blasi's front left will be dying pretty soon. It's 2 seconds to Lemony, 2.4 to Oscar. Then Richie, also tire wear. Crucial state. I'd say the same for River, so they're not running for that long on that compound, so it's maybe 15 minutes roughly. On the other hand, we have like Mr. Smooth Operator Beetlejuice, like barely used the tires at this stage. It's 22 seconds for now, but it could work. So we have like more than 20 seconds of a pit stop. And he's definitely playing the long game. These ones are pit stoppers. Shelty, Dylan, Evok as well is on the hards now, gearing on the hards as well. We saw Eco put in the most amount of fuel, I think, for now, and Slugsy with a long pit stop, but look at that fuel. Oh, he's on 90% and doesn't want to refuel probably for the end of the race. So he's going for Haas and see how long that will get him. For now he's way down, and the gap at the front coming down. Richie is in 1.7. Lassi pushing on his final couple of laps on those warm racing hards. Lemmy now behind Beetlejuice. So that's the 1 lap advantage. Now going side by side and inside line for the black car, the number 1 in that race. Lassi going for more. How long? He's losing time. See, Shelty is behind. Oh, on mediums, and someone's coming out of it. I know that was Richie. Nearly. So Lassi's in river for service as well. So Beetle up to P4. But that leaves us with 3 drivers that haven't pitted yet. That's Lemony and Oscar at the front. 4 seconds separated currently, and Beetlejuice on a tire and fuel saving strategy for this one currently. So can they stretch it to 20 minutes, then this would be a 2-stopper. We are 17 minutes in now. And Oscar's tire looking a little bit better, that front left compared to Lemony now. Just saved a bit more over those last couple of minutes. Gap stays roughly the same. Shelty, P4, one of the very early pit stoppers. Again, behind Beetle, who is on that alternative strategy. Shelty is slow on fuel, so needs to pit soon again. Couldn't find a way past for now. Maybe gets the run. I think Beetle was indicating go on the inside. And Richie behind also tries to follow that line. Didn't work for now. Has to be patient, I think. This could be the run now. There is Richie currently running P10, so also more fuel went into that car compared to the others. River as well. And Slugsy with the most fuel. A very long pit stop for now, so he's looking at a long stint at this stage. 4.8. Oscar bit of a slower lap last time around. Now tires and fuel getting crucial for both of the leaders. Also Shelty in P3, tires and fuel as well. Shelty pitted already. And we just have the front two on that lead lap for now. This will change very soon, and it looks like they just could stretch it to 20 minutes, so looks like a two-stopper on the Racing Hearts strategy. So Lemony is in, Oscar staying out, one more, but there is a little bit of traffic. Not sure if this wasn't the fastest way, so Oscar takes the lead for now. I'm pretty sure he will be pitting soon. He's on the outside now. Maybe he's forced to do another lap, or yeah, he is. So also, like with close traffic on the track, you need to find an opening for the pit entry. Because this could be now the time. I think no, doing one more, going for longer. Then Lemony, of course, Lemony, 32 liters of fuel went in, down to P8. So P2 is currently P2. Still has some of his fuel left, so Beetlejuice might be looking for a one stop. This one. Where's Oscar now? Is the time to pit? Not yet, and there's a car behind. Not too bad. So where is Lemony? P8 for now, dropped behind Eco. I think Eco is on a different strategy. And with the fuel and the tires, so hard to tell at the moment. We're still waiting for the top two and to come into pit lane. I would expect Oscar this lap. On fuel he could do a bit more, but I don't think he can stretch it to do another 8 minutes. And yes, he's in. So Beetle will get into the lead. It was still a lap down, but once he crosses the line, he will be our new race leader. Dylan close behind, also on a different strategy. The fuel is quite low, so Beetle now leads still on P2. Oscar in pit lane, refueling that car. So will he jump Lemony with that overcut? Depending, of course, on the amount of fuel that goes into the car. Doesn't look like Oscar going for longer, putting more fuel in than Lemony, so he will drop down the order. And Lemony definitely with a bigger gap for now. Can change towards the end of the race. And we should see Slugsy also towards the end of the race, then with his also alternative strategy with the fuel. Let's see how long he can go on those tires. Dylan now for a brief moment into the lead. I think he has 1 or 2 laps left with the fuel. Ewok is in for another pit stop. During you looking better than Dylan. Blasi also a good run before. Wait for Dylan. At least this lap. And let's see, 25 minutes, so 35 to go. Can he do hards to the end? That might be a question I have. Beetlejuice trying everything to get his car to the 30-minute mark, and for that one-stop strategy, Hearing not close for the moment, needs to wait for the next lap, and Blasi also joins this little group. Lift for Beetle. It's still going, and also Dylan like that fuel now. But it's also a very short lap, of course, and 1 liter, 1 times fuel consumption. So even if it looks like very, very close, it might not be the case, and I'm pretty sure it will be around about 1 liter remaining when Dylan comes into pit lane. Okay, so that should be 1 more time around, and then hit Deering close that gap. Blasi as well right behind. A little bit different conditions on tires and fuel for Deering and Blasi, and Dylan now in. So Deering into the lead. I don't know how many lead changes we have seen so far, and Deering's fuel maybe 5-6 laps. Still, Blasi in a good position, but I reckon Beetlejuice still going. Lemony back to P4 again. Eco in P5. Richie looking stronger with the tire wear and the fuel compared to Iso. I think Richie can push. River in P7 at the moment. Shelty is running in 8th. Dylan with that long pit stop now. How much fuel will go in? Plenty of it. Oscar also with that long pit stop due to the fuel. P10 for now. Evok in 11th, and Sluxy with finally some gaps, some manageable gaps to the other cars. He's still in that race, no doubt about that. The battle for the lead, Deering versus Blasi. Blasi with the tire advantage. Bit of a, the narrow line. Is it the faster one? Maybe using a bit more tire with that line. It looks like the faster line over 1 lap. Maybe not the ideal racing line. We'll find out how long can Deering go. 2-3 laps maybe before another pit stop is needed. Let's have a quick look at the gap between Beetle and Lemony. 5.6 for now. one stop. One stopper it is for Beetle 2 is crazy. Go back to the lead battle. Half a second still separating the top two, and the fuel looks to be very low again. Will during pit this lap maybe stretch it for one more. Yeah, he's going one more time round the Broad Bean Raceway. Blasi's fuel also getting lower and lower and should have the advantage. Now should be Deering's in lap. Let's wait, yeah, he's in. So Blasi into the lead. Beetle P2 3.4. Lemony is pushing, closing that gap again. Maybe before the pit stop. Beetle with a massive mistake. Let's see. Can we see it again at the replay? Yeah, the rear, I think the rear tires are cooked for Beetle with that one-stop strategy. Oh no. So it looked like a brilliant strategy that spin really cost Beetle. So I don't think now he will be able to fight for the victory. You see 10 seconds the gap between Blasi and Lemony. A bit of a difference with the fuel and the tires. So Blasi will be the next driver to pit out of that lead group, if we can call it a lead group. I don't know. We have, I think, the 4 drivers currently on the lead lap. So River closed that gap to Richie 1.3. Had a good run over this last couple of minutes. So Richie in third, Lemony P2 and Blasi low on fuel. Currently leading 28.5 minutes to go, so just past the halfway mark. And now, when will Kiko come in for the next service? Eco in P7, he went in for the next stop as well, so constantly here. Positions are changing throughout this race. It's probably up until the final 10 minutes, so we can see the actual race situation with all the different strategies. Yeah, it's an exciting one. So Blasi in, I think, no. Oh, was confused. The track layout. But he's low on fuel now. He's stretching it. He is stretching it for one more. Tires as well. Doesn't really lose too much time to Lemony in P2. Richie struggling a little bit with the traffic maybe. And River back with Richie. And River is in now. Doing the same as Richie. So I expect Blasi now as well to pit. And this lap, I don't see any fuel on that gorge. Is he out of fuel? Yeah, he ran out of fuel. He ran out of fuel. No, Blasi, no. What are you doing? You are losing like 3-4 seconds maybe with that costly mistake. Will he get into pit lane now? Yeah, he just made it, but he stretched it too much. No. So Lemony back into the lead, and he should be running for roughly 6 minutes, so he was going for the 2-stop, hard. Shelty suddenly in P3, so it's crazy to see those changes. Shelty was running P11, P12. At some point, Travis coming out of pit lane again. Deering is in P4, Dylan P5. And it's a big gap to Deering. Not sure if Deering miscalculated that fuel. Blasi in now and refueling. Can he go for 25 minutes? Not sure about the fuel. We'll find out. There is Dylan with Blasi. Blasi might keep that P4 for now. But it's a slow and long pit exit. Dylan coming around. What's the gap? Less than 10 seconds. Will come down even more before the one and only braking zone. 8.6. It is Oscar, who was running at the front in the alternative strategy up to P6 again, and he might be going for a long distance still. The amount of fuel he put in and his racing hard tires. So Richie P7, River PA 2.5, so a bit of a maybe down to fuel that gap. Evoke in 8th, current, that's 9th, sorry. Beetlejuice down to P10, a minute and 15 seconds, so that's of course just the one stopper and that mistake, that spin and the fuel he had to put in. So what is possible? Top 6 maybe. That strategy eco, our pole setter in P11 at the moment, and Sluxy on a set of mediums. He put in all of the fuel at the very first pit stop, so he might be catching towards the end of that race again and fight for some positions. So we have side-by-side racing anywhere. I think this one a bit close. It's not for positions though, it's Lemony versus Blasi. Blasi purple. For the moment it is Lemony with a 23.456. Lemony's tires and fuel coming towards the critical state. Blasi opening that gap. Again, you see the timer, 23 minutes to go, 0.5. So what is the situation? Lemony, the only driver on that elite lap, that's lap 92. We have then Shelty starting lap 91, Deering now as well, and Blasi doing it now, so nearly 2 laps down at the moment, Blasi. Lemony needs to do a pit stop and put in some fuel as well on that car. Then another 10 seconds to Dylan in P5, Richie, and Oscar got past River. That was for position. So River and Richie are the same strategy, and it's get a Nissan on board. River behind Oscar. Ooh, late sand. Different lights. Let's see that one more time. That looked a bit scary. But tap the wall. They are still fighting for the positions. We see Shelty running in P2 at the moment, again with a completely different strategy compared to Oscar and River. And Shelty in now for the pit stop. So it's can Oscar make it all the way to the end? I think the fuel shouldn't be an issue, but we saw with the hard tires towards the very end with Beetle's mistake could be difficult, but I don't think Oscar is pushing that hard. Richie with a good run. You see purple. Can someone beat that 23, 4, 5, 6? The point is 7. And Lemony now getting closer to the second and final pit stop. I think this could be the in-lap. Already 20 minutes to go. Shelty after the pit stop outside of the top 8 currently. Okay. Lemony squeezed out another lap and might be jumping into the pit lane now. He's slow, he doesn't make the same mistake as Blasi. So now he's in. Steering, tire wear and the fuel. I don't know if he can make it on the hards. We'll find out. He is purple though. He should get back onto the lead lap. And I don't know, maybe even get into the lead lap 100. You see Lemony sitting in pit lane and waiting for the fuel to go into that car. Deering starts lap 101, so for a moment looks like Lemony drops down to P3, Blasi in P2. Lemony is out. Doesn't have any traffic for now, so stays in front of Dylan. So now we are getting a bit of a more realistic picture of that race, the race standings. Dylan has to pit again. Let's have a look at the fuel. So Lemony with 30 liters-ish. Certain he will get to the end. Blasi with that fuel, I don't think so. The same goes for Deering. So Deering and Blasi both with a pit stop and to do, and they will probably then use the mediums again for that final stint. Lemony with that 2-stop hard could be the race winning strategy for now. Just 12 seconds that gap Dylan. The tires, don't think he can go all the way to the end, has to pit again. Richie close that gap too. Dylan as well, just a second, and River also, so a little bit of traffic maybe was involved in all of that, and punched up again, but also Richie and River, they will have to pit. Oscar with the fuel, he's fine. The tires is the issue. We need to do one more pit stop and maybe use mediums. In the end, Beetlejuice on that one-stop strategy. I think without that spin, he would be running higher. Still, I think maybe top 5 is doable. Shelty will get to the end. in P9 currently. I have to wait for the next pit stops for the rest of the grid. Eco might be able to get to the end with the fuel, tires, yeah, bit of a stretch. See, Ewok is on mediums now, sitting in between that group, and Sluxy on dead mediums, running for another lap. Has to pit now. Don't think that car will turn that much, so struggling a little bit with the track limits. Don't think there are any, and he's in for the final pit stop now. So how long can the leaders stay out? During Blasi, roughly the same strategy. Yeah, maybe 5 minutes and then go on to the mediums would be my guess. So for now it looks like Lemony with his two-stopper was the best strategy overall. This group is close, all cars, but everyone fighting for that position. Dylan, River and Richie for 5 and 6. Yes, the yellow Audi Ewok front. Not quite, but again on a different pit stop strategy. Richie and River on the exact same strategy. Could be also 4 or 5 minutes maybe, and then use the mediums towards the end. 1.5. Then can Blasi close that gap? For the pit stop, which is, yeah, a real battle then for position all the way till the end. Essentially, Dylan is in now, so tires. Oh yes, yeah, saved a little bit of fuel or put in more fuel earlier on, so that will be a shorter pit stop overall. And what about Oscar? I think he tried to go all the way till the end. Don't think the tires will let him. But the fuel, maybe too much fuel as well, but can't see him doing 13 minutes on 95% wear on the left hand side, on the front and the rear. So wouldn't be surprised to see him also pitting 2 minutes maybe to do, and that's the same problem that Beetlejuice faced. Like you see that once the rear tire is at that 95% state, it just suddenly loses grip, and yeah, seen the exact same thing for Beetle. And I think Oscar's race screwed a little bit. Extra careful, and he's coming in now. During catching up with that big pile of cars, and also Blasi behind, maybe a bit earlier. Don't get distracted by the traffic. Takes the inside line now, gets past Beetlejuice now, or behind Ewok, and we see 2 blue cars. Sluxy River, I think, steering on the inside. It's fine, I think. If he wants to pit, he should be on the outside for too long. There, touches, makes contact. No, Blasi went in, so he avoided that traffic. Let's see it once again. Yeah, underestimated the understeer, and luckily there was a car, and luckily there is no heavy damage or damage at all, but definitely lost him time. All falls into the hands of Lamini now. Gets back into the race lead, starting lap 120, 11 minutes to go. And as expected, Blasi on to the medium tire compound. So we should see River and Richie pitting soon as well. So Blasi should be P2 after the final pit stops. I reckon Deering is still in pit lane. Going for mediums. Where's Blasi? Comes around. Deering is still on the pit exit, and 1.3, 1.4. That will take 2 seconds maybe. It's still not over, so Richie and River both are in now. Blasi now up to P2 again, and Lemon with 32 seconds. That's a whole lap. P2, P3 for Blasi and Deering. Dylan is in P4, and Beetlejuice P5 has 4 seconds. Now to Shelty. His tires are in a better state. Oscar is on mediums, pushing as well, 6 seconds, so that gap. River and Richie P8, P9 for those two, running close for nearly the entire race, so final 9 minutes. Eco just 1.8 behind in P10. Ewok 5 seconds, and Sluxy. So after that very early mistakes and a very different strategy compared to everyone else, it's 20 seconds for now. Can he recover something? Probably, because Ewok's front left is not gonna make it. I predicted now Ewok has to pit again. But Lemony in total control, 30 seconds, the lead 1 lap and a bit. Blasi pushing on his mediums, 2.4 the gap to Deering. The gap to Dylan, nearly 10 seconds, so that should be okay. Probably. Podium positions are probably safe. Beetle in P5. Without that mistake, I think the one stop could have worked for at least P4, maybe also potential podium. Don't think it would be fast enough to compete for the victory. Oscar got past the Shelty though. The Shelty is under hards, and Oscar on still fresh mediums, pushing Kenny, catch Beetle as well, top 5. But he's still on the cards. River and Richie also catching Shelty. Also they have better tires, fresh mediums. No, it's hards for Richie. Okay, didn't see that. But we have Richie with the fastest lap, a 23.342. So, and as expected, Ewok had to pit again. So down to P12, Sluxy 11th, 23. Maybe gets another one. Eco also tire wear critical, I'd say. That left rear, we saw it twice now throughout this race. And the rear goes, it goes. Lemony now cruising, taking it easy, 28. Blasi pushing personal best, 8.4. Deering as well with 8.4. They are also close to that fastest lap, the extra points. are within reach still for them. 2 seconds between P2 and P3. We are entering the final 6 minutes of this crazy race. Yeah, it's definitely a mad combo. The Wheel of Doom had some crazy ideas today. And indeed, Oscar is catching Beetle. Just 2.7. Beetle nursing the tires now. Maybe getting lapped another time by Lemony. So 2 laps down, 2 seconds to gap to Oscar. It was the gap between Shelty and River, 2.3. River pushing, opening up that gap to Richie, though. And can Nico finish the race on his hearts? It's close. Maybe he doesn't feel the grip level being there. 5 minutes to go. Could be a very long 5 minutes. Oh, those rear tires. See the gaps between Blasi and Deering still 2 seconds back to Beetle and Oscar. Oscar now behind. Let's get the onboard. Half a second. His tires still in a good shape. Pretty sure he will get it. That wall, a little bit of a touch, 2/10. Can go a bit tighter, but then touched Beetle a little bit on the exit. Now gets the run. That's the grip difference. And moves up into P5. Shelty under pressure as well. Here comes the River and Richie. Less than 4 minutes to go. You have Deering sitting in between River and Shelty. Deering fighting for that P2 maybe on the inside. Will he get it? They go coming out side by side, not the best run. Compromised exit for Shelty, opportunity for River with the run. Deering looking to go to find a gap. It's maybe unlucky for Deering. Couldn't get past Shelty. So P3 it is, most likely. Can River. And also they are catching Beetle. Beetle is struggling with the fuel and the tires. They are catching Beetle as well. So the fight P6, 7 and 8 is raging on between the three drivers. 2.5 minutes to go. This time River with the run. Outside line. Oh, someone was sideways, facing the wrong way. Who was it? I don't know. It was Eco. Eco, his tires died. Oh, crucial moment. He was sitting in the middle of the track. I think there was a little bit of ghosting. I think no one really lost the position. And now, can Beetle defend? The rear left will be struggling again. Those last couple of laps. And we have Beetle, Shelty, Richie, River all in that fight for P6. A crazy end to a crazy race. It is. Beetle defending the inside line, though River on the outside. Can he go around the outside? He has it. He's in front. He made it. So River up to P6, Beetle P7, Shelty, Richie, Deering, again, Deering fighting on the inside of Richie. There's contact between Richie, Shelty and Deering. Did he lose it? Deering lost it. Oh, a minute to go. He's in danger of losing that P3 maybe as well. The gap to Dylan, just 13 seconds. So now keep it clean in the last minute of racing. Lemony still at 26 seconds. Blasi in P2. He kept it clean on those last crazy 10 minutes during P3, 7 seconds. So should be okay. Dylan P4, Oscar P5, River P6, Richie P7, Beetle P8, Shelty in 8th on dead tires, Evoque in 10th, Sluxy P11, 12 seconds that gap to Evoque and Eco on soft tires. Will he get the fastest lap? As well, Sluxy has the fastest lap for now with a 23.3, so it's 5 seconds. And it is the final lap of this race for Lemony, so here we go. Just one more turn and then Lemony will win. Blasi P2, during P3, Dylan 4th, Oscar P5, River will finish in P6, Richie P7, Beetle, then P8, Shelty 9th, Evo 10th. Eco couldn't complete that final lap. Or did he? I don't know. There's too many things just happening at this one, so let's just save the replay and grab the results and let's see what positions and points. So Lemony with the victory, Blasi during P3, Dylan in 4th, Oscar P5, River, Richie and Beetle. Beetlejuice with the one stopper in 8. Yeah, Lemony, you left the entire field. And Shelty, Evo, P9, P10, Sluxy kept that fastest lap, 23.316. Who could get it down to a 23.3. As with the early DNF, something happened. So yeah, definitely an interesting race. Crazy combination. No doubt about that. So yeah, once again, Random Mayhem. It struck, delivered some crazy race in the end. Very entertaining. Not gonna lie, that commentary was fun. So yeah, that's it for round 2. So we have 4 rounds to go. Then in the Random Mayhem series. Yeah, this is the calendar. So I don't know the settings, of course. It will be decided as always just before we open the lobby. But you have 4 rounds to go, 6 in total. And then yeah, we'll get to see, combinations for next week's Mayhem. We're looking forward to that. With that, I say thank you all for watching. Hope to see you in our next stream. That should be the Monday stream for TC number 5 at Barcelona. Monday evening. And next week on Thursday it is round 3. So hope to see you there. Take care. And as always, love you all. See you soon. Bye bye.